Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Hello, Alison.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Sitting.
Okay.
Talking.
Sucks. Welcome to Jennifer Love Hewitt. Will you please be on our show? That's not even the name of it. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Please be on our show.
podcast.
No, it's show, right?
Pretty sure it's podcast.
I don't think so. I don't think you know what you're talking about. So, I watched the second episode yesterday. Of Ghost Whisperer. And I feel like I'm full of opinions. Okay. So the second episode, it's Please Be on Our Show. The second episode, I was stalling and looking it up. The second episode is about a kid that gets run over by a train, right?
Yes.
Here's what I didn't understand, okay? Number one, Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show. Just call us, DM us, anything. Just let us know, right? I'm going to go ahead and give out the phone number. Jennifer Love Hewitt, you can call us anytime you want at 254-300-7982. That is 254-300-7982. Jennifer Love Hewitt, please call us and be on our show. Okay, so second episode of Ghost Whisperer.
Yes.
It's about a kid that gets hit by a train.
Tell me how you feel about this.
I'm conflicted, right?
Why?
I'm conflicted and confounded because the second episode is so weird to me because it feels like an episode that ought to be in the middle of the season. And here's what I mean by that. We go into the second episode and everybody just knows everything. Like everybody knows she sees ghosts. Everybody knows it's wacky when it happens. You know, everybody knows this. Everybody knows that. There's zero, like you're only talking about a few days, right? Even and we don't even know how long it's been since they got married. It's not been that long.
No.
Right?
Yeah, no.
And so, but he's just like, oh, okay, your wacky ghost thing's happening again, which I thought was weird, right?
Was it? Was it really?
It was kind of weird. So the plot of this one is that her husband, Jim. His mother is coming to town, played by the fantastic Christine Baranski, who I did not have to look up her name. I know her every time I see her. She's been on so many things. She is coming to town, so Melinda's mother-in-law is going to be at their house for the first time. So there's your setup, right? This is your it's so it's almost like a sitcom setup, right? Where mom's coming to town, let's make sure we hide all the stuff or whatever, right? And in this case, it's let's make sure we don't chase any ghosts while she's here. You know, that's what he basically says to her, right? He says, don't chase any ghosts. At least wait to chase your ghosts until after mom leaves, is what he basically tells her, right?
Yeah.
While he's putting up a light fixture in the hall. Oh, that's some good coffee. So the other thing I don't understand about this show is she owns this antique shop, right? Mm-hmm. She says that several times. I own an antique shop. Mm-hmm. But Aisha Taylor, she's the only one I ever see working in this shop. Like, Very rarely do you see it was almost the end of the show when Melinda finally picked up a box and carried it across the room. I was like, man, this lady just doesn't work much. She just chases ghosts all the time. Right?
I mean,
Do you see her working a lot?
in the later seasons,
Oh, yeah?
yes,
Yeah.
ish.
She gets tired
mean,
of chasing ghosts and
it
picks up
gets-
a wrench. Is that what happens?
It gets better
Okay.
as far
Okay.
as her work
Okay.
ethic.
All right. Her work ethic gets better as we go. Okay. I'm looking forward to that. Maybe we'll see a nice work montage at some point. Okay. So the deal is she's driving her Jeep Cherokee or whatever it is she drives, and she stops at the railroad track. Right?
Yep.
Ding, 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 ding. Here come the arms.
Oh man,
What?
I hate those.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I hate
That?
the ding ding ding. You gotta stop.
It is crazy to me that it is 2022 and we're still using trains. That's nuts. Those trains ought to be flying in the sky at this point, right?
Really?
Instead of on the ground. But
Do you expect flying cars in the next 2 years?
yeah, I think we're gonna have flying cars. Hey, we got that flying motorcycle thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so she stops at the railroad tracks and she sees what's the kid's name?
Kenny,
Kenny
the ghost.
and his friend. Which this
I'm
is
pretty sure it's
This is
Amy.
super weird to me too. So Kenny and oh God, what is the kid's name? I can't find him. Anyway,
oh Dylan.
Dylan. Okay,
Dylan's the other kid.
Dylan and Kenny. Kenny?
Kenny.
When I say it, it doesn't sound right. Dylan and Kenny are over there putting pennies on the railroad track, waiting. They're going to squash them pennies and go back and get them after the train goes by. Right? That's something the kids do. She sees the kids over there playing on the track, and she knows Dylan. She doesn't know Kenny, which is
Yes.
weird also to me that they live in this town where this kid was brutally killed, and she doesn't know this kid, right? She doesn't even know the family. That's weird to me because it seems like a little Gilmore Girls,
It's-
type neighborhood.
Excuse me, sir. It's actually the next town over where he lives.
Is it
It's like two little towns that butt up to
really?
each other. Yeah.
Well, I know I heard the mother at one point say she took them to the fair, which was like 3 towns over.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that's why they are crossing the railroad.
All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves just a little bit. So she sees Dylan, who Dylan turns out to be a real turd, by the way.
Just a little.
So she sees Dylan and Kenny over there playing with their pennies on the railroad track. Hey, Dylan, get off the railroad track, right? And other scruffy kid, come here. And so she gets him away from the railroad track, but Kenny stays on the railroad track. And then the train comes by and everybody's like, oh my God. And then he just appears next to him, right? So now she's like, crap, here's a ghost. Because she looks over and there's a like a little shrine to Kenny, right? A little memorial over on the side with the teddy bear and the cross and the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about a cross, but anyway. So come to find out, Dylan can see Kenny because kids can see spirits. That's
Yes.
where imaginary friends come from, is what we're told in this episode.
Yes.
So we watch all of that. She goes home and tells her husband. He's like, "Oh my God, you said you wouldn't chase ghosts while Mom's here," and so but she does it anyway. Then his mom shows up, and Christine Baranski is tough in this one, right? She's tough mother-in-law kind of thing, and Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show, shows up and she's like, she's real antsy because she's got to go tell this family she sees this boy ghost, right?
Is that what he is?
He's a boy ghost. He's a boy ghost. Child ghost. Baby ghost. Anyway, she's like, I got to go tell this family. So she excuses herself like real abruptly and goes to the family's house. And Christine Baranski's like, where'd she go? You know, that kind of thing, right? And so she ends up going to their door, knocking on their door and going, hey, I know your kid died, but I can see him. and the dad gets real pissed off. He's like, "Oh, get out of here, you punk," or whatever he says, right? He's like just this side of throwing a brick at her to get her off his lawn. And the mother listens a little more, but then she's like, "I just can't," right? Slams the door on her. Am I keeping up so far?
Sort of, yeah.
What am I missing? Did I miss something?
Courthouse.
Oh,
Mommy,
that's
daddy,
right.
Crying.
So
sad.
here's okay. All right. Here's the first point that I wanted to make. I didn't know this was possible in the spiritual realm. And what I'm talking about is she told Kenny to get in her car, and then she drove him to the antique shop, right?
Yes.
Well, both of them, I guess. But no, Dylan.
She drops
Dylan off first.
because his mom
And his mom's like, "I told you to only go to the quarry or whatever.
like to stay in the square.
Yeah.
And just because she owns another shop in
He
the
said,
same
"I'm a
square.
circle, not a square," or something. But no, he's
No.
so he's wandering all over, and we get the idea that he's like kind of rude to his mom, or he's trouble, this kid, which I still don't understand why he wants Aisha Taylor to wet her rock, but whatever.
Because it sparkles.
Well, I get that, but we never see it happen, right? The rock never gets wet. Anyway, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself and throwing this thing in the dumpster. So as they're driving, and again, the first point is, I didn't know you could ask a ghost to get in your car and take them to your house. That's new to me. That's like vampire just coming in and you didn't invite them. Just, "Hey, I'm a vampire. I thought I'd come in. I'm a ghost. Can I get in your car?" Well, you're a ghost. You don't need to get in my car. But also, he was told by his mom to wait at that, anywhere he gets lost, wait there and I'll find you. That's the whole idea. That's why he's got his unfinished business at the railroad tracks, right?
Yep.
Okay, so they get in the car and they're ghost busting through town, and they stop at a light, and Kenny's like, boom, he pokes his head out from the back seat, which he's a ghost. And they see the courthouse. They're right next to the courthouse, and they see, oh, his mommy and daddy come out, and they're crying and they're a mess. And then this other guy comes out, and he's like, meh, or whatever to him, right? And he just walks off. And so we get the idea that there was something going on there. Oh, because she went to the bookstore. She took Kenny to the bookstore first that his mommy works at. Yes. And she's told that today's the day she's at the courthouse. We don't know what the hell she's talking about. So then they drive her around town. Then they ghost bust around town, and they stop by the courthouse, and that's when they see his mommy and daddy coming out, and they're all crying and they're a mess, and here comes pissed off man, right? And so he's like, "Can I go with mommy or dad?" And she's like, "No, you can't. You're a ghost. Get in my car." And so anyway, then they go to his house.
So she does a little bit of investigating, and then that's where she realizes how he died.
Okay. All right.
And then it's like the next day that
got it.
She goes to their house.
Okay.
And that whole thing plays out.
So she goes there. She talks to the family. The family's like, "Get out of here, you weirdo," which I think I would do too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, "Go away, weirdo. You're seeing ghosts." So, anyway. Okay, so remind me what happens next, because I'm stuck at her house.
So, oh no, where are we?
That was just a ploy for me to take a big sip of coffee. So after that, she goes home. That's when she sees her mother-in-law. She pisses her off by leaving, and then they're having dinner because she's taking Kenny home. She's taking Kenny to her house, and now the ghost is sitting on a couch watching TV.
You would think I would remember this when I watched it this morning.
That's what I'm saying. So the kid, who's a ghost, is sitting on a couch watching TV and changing channels with his mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Because the EMF?
Yeah. I don't get that part.
The electromagnetic field, man.
Well, I get it, but I'm electromagnetic force. Or is it field? Oh, okay. You're the certified Ghostbuster, so
Go watch. Mike. Go listen to Poltergeist. We explain this.
Well, you are a certified Ghostbuster, right?
Certified paranormal investigator.
Same thing.
No.
Different word.
No.
Yeah. You're a certified Ghostbuster.
It's who you're going to call Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And
so I'm going to call you if I see a ghost. I'm going to say, Alison, come here, bust my ghost. All right?
no.
He keeps getting in my car and he's watching SpongeBob at my house. Get him out of here.
No.
So anyway, the kid is there and they're trying to have a lovely dinner with mother-in-law, who we find out is a shopaholic, by the way. She goes and buys these wacky gifts for her girlfriends.
She's got some money, man.
And she apparently does. And so the TV comes on. It keeps changing channels, all that stuff. Oh, my God. Allison's a ghost. Wow.
Hi.
So the TV channels keep changing, and they're like, oh, it's the cat, is what they tell the mother-in-law. And the mother-in-law is like,
Hey.
the mother-in-law is like, oh, my gosh, that's a talented cat. So to me, that whole scene with the TV and everything, it felt like a sitcom. Like, whoa, you got to hide the neighbor, you know, that kind of thing. So to me, it was like a sitcom, you know, that whole thing. So it kind of lost me there in the middle. But anyway, so finally, does the mom come to her house or does she go over there again? I don't remember which was which.
I think she goes over again.
Yeah.
To try to talk
Oh,
to
no,
her.
no, 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 no. She left the card on their door.
Oh, yeah.
The dad shows up at the
shop.
antique store and he's like, get out of here. And, you know, she's like, I've got your kid, you know, he's in my house watching SpongeBob or whatever. So he didn't believe him. And then she ends up over at their house again, talking about, how she can see the ghost, and she says a few things that the mother's like, oh, maybe you did actually see him. Maybe you can actually talk to him. We find out that somehow the kid gets into the house. So these ghosts can go anywhere, by the way. He went from the railroad track to the car to her house to his old house. I thought he was supposed to wait in place, but whatever. This ghost travels. He's a convenient traveling ghost. So anyway, as this is all happening, we see Kenny is in his old house and he sees his mom crying. Oh, he brushes up against her cheek. She can feel him up against her cheek, even though he's a ghost. And so, and then he ambles into his room. This is the ghost. He goes into his room. His dad's on the bed crying. And he realizes that the guy's got a gun. And he's like, oh, Daddy, no. Right?
Yeah.
And so now,
Yeah,
now.
Triangle with the hands.
Triangle, yeah. Joining a cult.
Oh, no.
So now the father, we find out, goes to the guy's house who was part of the lawsuit. This guy sold him a car that he knew was a lemon, told him it was perfect. That's why the car stalled out on the railroad tracks, and that's why Kenny's dead, is what this guy's saying.
Yes, that was the whole courthouse scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that drug on for a while, like before we knew what the deal was.
Yeah. They basically told the whole story, or trying to cut through the story before they even found out why.
I thought the guy was the conductor, like he was the guy driving the train.
Oh.
And I think Melinda actually brings that up. Like, was he the conductor? No, he's the guy who sold the car, which is a very loose connection to anything, by the way. If a guy sells you a car and just says, oh, it's all good, and then your car stalls out on the railroad tracks, the guy didn't drive you there.
No.
But anyway, whatever.
Well,
So
most people take their car to the mechanic before buying it.
You would think so, yeah. Maybe this town doesn't have a mechanic. It's 3 towns over. See, I'm going to be pissed off if we get like 16 episodes into this thing and it's all about a mechanic who lives in that town. So anyway,
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Might need to move on to something new.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show. So now the father goes over to the guy's house, threatens him with a gun. Melinda and her husband drive up, and they're like, "Oh my God, don't do it!" And Jim or whatever his name is, breaks up the fight, and the ghost is crying. Which again, I didn't know the ghost cry, but he's crying. Everybody's crying. Everything's bad. It's all terrible. So at some point, her and Aisha Taylor and the kid who can see ghosts and the ghosts are out in the town square. And they end up giving the kid back to his mom. And his mom has a fair point here where she's like, "You took my kid."
Oh, this is right before all this.
Yeah.
Because again, Kenny was supposed to be at the house watching TV.
SpongeBob marathon, she said.
And they couldn't see him because Dylan's the only one that can see him outside of Melinda.
He's a ghost.
No, he's not. But that's what the whole thing is. You took my kid.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
And then
but we also are finding out that Kenny's Dylan is like a turd to his mom. He yells at her, all this stuff. The ghost even gets upset about it and tells him, like, "You yell at your mother, you should be nice to her." And then he pops a bunch of ornaments behind him by using his ghost powers.
No.
Yeah.
That's not, he was getting mad because Dylan was saying that he's not real.
Right.
And that his mom told him,
right.
"You're not real, you're fake," whatever. And then he's like, "I am real, ask Melinda."
Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things pop behind him. And Melinda has to tell him, "You're a ghost, kid. Get out of here."
Yeah.
And so, anyway, come to find out, the family figures that Melinda maybe knows what she's talking about now. She is able to tell the mom all this stuff that the kid said. Like, I don't remember what this specific thing was. It was like, my teddy bear is named Earl or something.
It was, in order for that breakthrough for the mom,
Yeah.
It was the spider.
That's right. Ornament. I missed the spider. So there's these glass spider ornaments that Christine Baranski bought while she was out gallivanting around. And then we find out that the glass spider was hanging from the rearview mirror of the car, and the ghost wanted it as they were driving around, and that's why his mom got distracted, right? Yeah. And so anyway, she tells her all about the glass ornament spider, and that's when she's like, "Oh, shoot, maybe you can see my kid," And then she tells her that for him to be happy and go away, he has to go into the lights, and she has to let him go, and she does. And after the mom tells him, you're going to see grandma, you're going to see your turtle, which turtles are not in heaven, by the way, guys.
How do you know?
Because I read the newsletter.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Turtles are not allowed in heaven.
What?
They're a tripping hazard, so they don't let them come in. But anyway, she tells him all this stuff, and he goes, "Oh, I can see the light," and then he's gone. Right? Yep. The ghost goes away. This episode felt really different from the first one.
Oh, it gets very different.
Because what I'm saying is, the first one felt very serious, right? And this one was like I say, it was like a situation comedy in the middle. Mm-hmm. But then it got heartstring touching or pulling, and we talked about the turtle, and they finally let him go. And the other thing that happens is we see Dylan all by himself on a bus bench, sitting in front of his mom's store, and he's playing with this airplane, and he goes, "Phew," and the airplane just leaves and goes away. And so I guess in his mind, he's like, because Kenny catches it, I guess, right?
Kenny basically took it to fly it.
Well, he told him,
says, "Be nice to your mother.
Be nice to your mother." And it was like the kid, Dylan, looks up and goes, "Oh, okay."
And runs in and hugs
and so
his
then he
mommy.
runs in and hugs her and tells her he's not going to yell at her anymore.
He's like, "I love you.
I love you. I won't yell at you anymore." "Okay, great. Here's your college fund."
Oh, no.
Right?
Is that how that works?
I guess. I don't know.
Let me go try that then.
This was a weird episode. I think that we need to start giving these episodes boo ratings.
Boo ratings?
Yeah.
Boo ratings.
Well, what do you want to call them?
What are we, boobays?
No, but what do you want to call them? Whisper points? Points?
Whispers.
Okay, so I give this one out of 5 whispers. I give this one only 3.
3?
3 out of 5 whispers. Yeah. I was not a big fan of this episode. It was fine, but there was a lot of stuff that I had to just go, oh, okay, that's the way it is. Again, putting a ghost in your car, driving it around, that is weird to me. So, how many whispers you give it? Out of 5. How many whispers?
Let's say maybe like a 3.8.
Oh, see? Now we're going with decimals. Okay, 3.8, and I give it a solid 3. Mine's trending towards a 2.8, but still. So you average it, it's like a 3.5, you know? Yeah. Okay, well.
That's how math works.
Next one is episode 3. I don't know what it's about, but I'm sure.
Oh boy, you're in for it.
I'm sure they're going to be whispering at some ghosts. So I just want to see her whisper to a ghost one time. Live up to the title. So having said that, this entire show is a blatant ploy to try to get Jennifer Love Hewitt to call into our show. Jennifer Love Hewitt, please be on our show. Again, that phone number is 254-300-7982, or you can email us at info@roguemedianetwork.com. Mike, Allison, we're going to keep watching Ghost Whisperer, talking about it until Jennifer Love Hewitt is on our show. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com. Bye.